Hi there guys, and welcome back to a new episode. In this one, we are looking at Dogecoin again and the potential that this one has for the future. So basically guys, in the past week we've seen Dogecoin do a lot, mainly to the downside, but we're talking about the long-term potential in this episode. Well, of course, it is just my opinion guys, but if you will enjoy it, please do leave a like and subscribe, because of course we are trying to grow the channel, and a massive thank you for everybody that has subscribed so far. You guys already know though that I am not a financial advisor, so use this for your entertainment and nothing else. And with that being said, if you would like to come talk to us on Discord, you can. Link to the Discord is below. And if you want to support the channel guys, just press that join button. It would go a long way in helping us as well. So let's jump straight in. So yeah guys, first focusing on how this one has been moving over the past 5 days, we can see that Dogecoin went from a high of the week, which appeared to be about the 8 cent mark, all the way down to the current range of about 6 cent. Now don't get me wrong, from about Thursday, a lot of this actually did start to flatten out, mainly from about Friday that we saw a bit of an increase in price, and now on Saturday we're pretty stable but a bit to the downside, but we are overall negative for the week. Now on the past month, you can see a lot of volatility in this one. Obviously it's rocketed up from a price of about 0.0084 cent all the way up to the current price of about 6, almost even 7 cent. So you have seen a lot of action in the past few weeks. I think that's a good thing, to be honest. I think it really is a good starting point. But you know what guys, being as this one has gone up by such a significant amount in such a short period of time, I think it was bound to fall a bit in price. I don't think that's a bad thing either, because of course it does present a new opportunity to buy the dip. I think it also makes sense because a lot of people are probably taking profits at this high point, because let's face it guys, if you'd have bought this one back when it was at 4 cent or even lower at about 2 cent, you'd have obviously made a very big profit if you'd have bought multiple shares of this one. So it does make sense that a lot of people have sold off. But right now guys, we're talking about the more long-term potential for this coin and where it could potentially go in the future. And by the way guys, if you do want to have a look at how it might move in the next week, that is coming out tomorrow, where we'll have a look at this one for the next week going forwards. But this one's more of a long-term approach, looking at the fundamentals of this one. Right guys, so the first thing that I want to talk about looking at this one for a long-term potential is the actual idea of this one being a fully fledged cryptocurrency. We've talked about this one before. I want to bring it up again because it is true, and there's a page on Reddit here that you can see talk about lists of stores and merchants that do accept Dogecoin right now. And of course, if we go down, there's many different articles and whatnot talking about where this currency is accepted. But the main thing is that this is actually accepted in many different places, and this is a start of this potentially becoming a fully fledged cryptocurrency, which actually can be used in the real world. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think if this one really does become used widespread in the in the real world, it will bring a lot of potential to this coin for a big increase in price. I think that is what we really need to see for this one, but that will be over the next 5 to 10 years, I do believe. I think if you are getting into Dogecoin, I've said it before, I will say it again, it is more of a long-term investment in my personal opinion, because yes, we are only just starting out in this one right now, and it could also fail guys. It is definitely a speculative play in my opinion, but if you do have that faith in it, and if you are willing to take the risk, if you have done the research, I definitely think that you will know that this one is one of these coins which does have that long-term potential. I definitely think that there is some short-term potential that this one could rocket in the short term, but I think realistically, if we're looking at Dogecoin, I think that we're looking for those big gains over a more long-term period. But yeah guys, another thing which I want to talk about again is the actual market cap of the currency, which is currently about 8.738 billion, which is relatively large, which just shows guys that this one does have some more potential going forward. So circulating supply is also apparently 128.36 billion. I've said it before guys, I will say it again, Dogecoin does have some big potential, but we just need to know that a lot of these coins are in circulation right now, not as many as currencies like Bitcoin. I've said that as well, but I just think that is another thing which people do need to focus on, because yes, Dogecoin does have some potential, but I definitely don't think it's going to be the next Bitcoin, but it definitely does have some potential. But there are some certain differences in market cap which people do need to realize, but that is not necessarily a bad thing guys. Obviously Bitcoin is worth multiple thousands of dollars. We don't need this one to be the next Bitcoin to make a decent amount of profit, and that is what we need to remember. So guys, another thing which I want to talk about going forwards into the future is a potential mining speed, potentially, or at least hopefully, going down a bit, which definitely could add value to the price of the coin. Now guys, if we look at this article here on Google, we can see that apparently now you can mine about 133 Dogecoin per day at a hash rate of 222 kms. So of course you can see guys, that is quite a lot of coins per day, and yes, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but if we look at this one in comparison to some other cryptocurrencies, it is a rather high rate. Now personally guys, I think if this one is slowed down a bit, it will also make each coin more valuable going forwards. I think it's little things like this that the development team can do to really really help this currency going into the future. Now, there's no actual, 100% guarantee that this is going to happen, but I think it's just one of those small things which this cryptocurrency team can do to definitely help the currency going forwards. But overall, guys, I definitely do see some long-term potential for this one. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. If you are going to buy it, it is more of a risky play because we just don't know where it is going. It definitely could continue to fall into the next week. I don't think that's the worst thing at all. I'd definitely wait a few days before I was to buy into this one because there definitely could be a great dip coming, which could also present a new opportunity to buy the dip. But realistically, guys, over the past week, we have seen that sell-off slowing down. I definitely think it could go a bit further to the red, but I don't think it will be by too much. And I think, you know what, guys, if we can level out in that 5-cent range, or maybe even that high 6-cent range, this one is definitely still a buy. But of course, it does carry a lot of risk with it. But you know what, guys, for a more long-term investment, if you are willing to carry that risk, if you do see the potential of this one being accepted in many different places, becoming its own fully fledged currency with some real potential, and of course just a little changes to the things like mining coming along, if you think that these will all have a big effect, maybe going forwards Dogecoin is a decent buy. But at the current price of about 6 cent, I think it's not the worst price that we have been seeing. I would like to see this one fall by a small amount more, maybe a bit further into the low 6-cent range, maybe about 6.5 cent would be a nice point to reach in the early part of next week. But guys, I'm giving all of my predictions on this one for the next week into tomorrow's video, guys, so please do leave a like on this one so that you don't miss out on that one. But yeah, guys, looking at this one long term, I think that the real potential is there with this currency. I think it definitely could pop up in the future to maybe 10 cent, if not above 10 cent, but I think we just need to be aware of the risk going forwards. And I think long term, guys, it is too early to say whether this one does have a shot at becoming a real currency or not, but I think the potential absolutely is there, but it is still quite high risk, and people do need to be aware of that. So guys, if you are willing to take that risk, if you do want to chance it, maybe invest a small amount into Dogecoin. Personally, I would not put too much into it because, like I said, the potential is huge for a more long-term period, but we just do not know where it is going. But I think as of current, guys, if you do have the faith in the currency, now is not the worst time to buy. I think the dip is fairly decent. I think it may go a bit lower into the future, but it just depends how far you can anticipate this one going up in the future as well. So guys, I think in the next week or two, we could definitely see this one bounce to about 8 cent potentially. I think going forwards after that, guys, into the next 5 to 6 months, we definitely could see this one hit 10 cent, 20 cent if we are lucky, maybe even 30 cent. But there are a lot of different factors that do go into that, of course. If Elon Musk does keep hyping up the coin, that could also help us out a lot, but we just don't have that as a guarantee. But it is also possible and likely that that could happen, but we just don't know where this one is going. So it is going to be very volatile into the next week. It is going to be very volatile going forwards into the future. And if you are aware of that and the fact that it does carry risk, maybe it could be a decent play for an investment. But of course, it is very risky, but do be aware of that. But yeah, guys, I think this sell-off is going to be coming to an end by the end of next week, hopefully. I think from there, we'll hopefully start to see this one go back up and start to make those gains again in the price of Dogecoin. But do tell me what you think down in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching the video. I'll see you then. Goodbye.